"We're recruiting, if George is keen." William jokes how his obsessed son would love to join the police as he and Harry honor Scotland Yard's finest at Kensington Palace. Prince William today revealed that his son George is obsessed with the police as he and Harry honored Scotland Yard's finest at Kensington Palace today. PC Jane Richardson told William how the Kensington and Chelsea district needed more volunteers, and referred to his children aged 4 and 2, saying, "We are recruiting, actually, so if George and Charlotte are keen." William laughed and said his son would actually love to if he were given the chance. "He is obsessed, actually, by the police. Cars, toys, everything," he said. Indeed, William gave a letter to Father Christmas in Denmark last year on behalf of his son in which he said he had been good and asked for a police car. The princes had met with Cadet of the Year, Nabila Lissid, 17, who lives close to Grenfell Tower in North Kensington, West London, and lost a close friend in the blaze last June. He was nominated for the award by PC Richardson. Mr. Lissid has carried out more than 1,000 volunteering hours in the last year alone, ranging from taking officers on the scene food and drink when the scale of the tragedy emerged, to helping to organize a trip for survivors to the Isle of Wight. William also spoke of the continuing devastation he feels at driving past burnt-out Grenfell Tower as he and Harry honored some of the Metropolitan Police's most outstanding officers. The royal brothers invited and winners from the Met Excellence Awards to Kensington Palace to chat about their work and achievements. They included Police Officer of the Year, PC Philip Stone, who is the service's disaster victim identification coordinator and in the last year has helped recover from the 100 bodies from 5 separate tragedies including the Manchester Arena bombing and the Grenfell fire. William, 35, who lives in Kensington Palace, just a few minutes' drive away, told him, "We still see it, the tower, a lot as it is just around the corner. It's hard to comprehend." PC Stone told him that of the tragedies he has been forced to deal with, every family have been able to have some part of their loved one back. It has been one thing after another this year. Grenfell was very, very difficult for obvious reasons, because of the heat, he said. "That must be a great comfort to them," the clearly moved prince replied. PC Stone said it was very humbling to have the chance to tell the princes about their work. "I am very proud to be here," he said. Another winner was Sergeant Hannah Stewart, 31, who left William speechless as she described a heartrending child abuse case she brought to court. The victim, who suffered from terminal motor neuron disease, became the first person in the UK to give evidence using eye gaze technology, which allowed him to blink in order to answer questions during evidence and cross-examination in court. The man, who was sexually abused by Vicar Cyril Rowe, 78, when he was a young choir boy, gave evidence via a video link from a hospice during the case at Bournemouth Crown Court last year. Tragically, he died 2 hours after a jury, who had spent 2 days deliberating their verdict, found Rowe guilty of 3 counts of indecent assault, without ever finding out his abuser had been convicted. Sergeant Stewart, who is clearly still affected by the case, told William how she wanted to tell him in person because he could not communicate over the phone and raced back to London, where the victim was in a hospice. But by the time she arrived, he had tragically passed away. "I thought it was the right thing to do, but now I don't know. I felt terrible, maybe if I had phoned," she said. "He was still a young man, a father, and used to tell me how difficult it was as his brain was still perfectly active while his body was failing. Giving evidence to the court was such a superhuman feat of strength for him. I truly believe he hung on for that moment to tell everyone what happened to him and then slipped away. The cross-examination took 2 days and took everything out of him. He told me that he only decided to go to the police when he was diagnosed with the disease as he felt he had to face his demons. He hung on long enough to see that justice was done as the case came to court, but just couldn't live long enough to hear that it had been served. It is so sad, but at least justice served its course." "Well done, very impressive," said the prince. William and Harry also met Conservative MP Tobias Ellwood, who won an Outstanding Contribution Award for his efforts in rushing to help PC Keith Palmer, who lost his life in last year's Westminster terror attack. Mr. Ellwood, a former soldier, told William about how instinct kicked in as the attack unfolded last March. William said, "Everyone did all they could, I'm sure." PC Keith Palmer was also posthumously honored at the ceremony, which took place last week, for his heroic response during the Westminster terror attack. The officer, who was stabbed to death when he confronted attacker Khalid Massoud outside the Houses of Parliament last March, was named the winner of the Outstanding Bravery of the Year prize. Met Commissioner Cressida Dick said the force was really grateful to William and Harry for finding time for them, and told her officers, "Thank you for what you did do and will continue to do." She said afterwards, "It's wonderful for our guys and girls to be here and to enjoy such a treat. They're really excited and have had a lovely time." They all spoke very openly and clearly and frankly about what they do, and what they do is, they take it for granted, but it is extraordinary for many of them, and I think the impression their Royal Highnesses received is that these people are passionate about their jobs and keeping people safe. They are sometimes people who aren't thanked as much as they might be. They are an absolute inspiration.